My babysitter Eleanor Briggs always smelled like lavender and baked oatmeal cookies. She'd hold my hand when I walked in, smile gently, then glance at the front door like she was waiting for something awful. I never asked. But the day her daughter Veronica pounded on the door with red eyes and shouted demands, I grabbed Chelsea's leash. We hid in the hallway closet. Chelsea trembled in my lap. I heard glass break. Eleanor didn't scream. That scared me more. Chelsea licked my face to calm me, but my heart pounded so loud I thought Veronica might hear. She stormed through the house, yelling about $750 Eleanor owed. Eleanor whispered something, then a loud slap echoed. Chelsea whimpered. I bit my hand not to cry out. Through the slats, I saw Eleanor's silhouette pick up shattered pieces from the floor. Veronica's boots stomped toward the kitchen. Chelsea nudged my arm. I prayed she wouldn't bark. I tried sneaking out the back with Chelsea once the yelling died down, but the door squeaked. Veronica spotted us. Don't run, you little snitch, she shrieked. Chelsea barked and lunged. Veronica kicked her. I froze shocked. Eleanor rushed out, begging her to stop. Veronica laughed and said, maybe I'll sell that mutt. My fists clenched. I was just a kid, but I knew this wasn't normal. That night, Eleanor told me Chelsea had to stay outside. Just for tonight, she said, eyes wet. I hugged Chelsea tight under the porch light. In the middle of the night, I heard tires screech. A yelp. I ran out barefoot. Chelsea lay still in the driveway. Eleanor sobbed, holding her tiny frame. Veronica's car disappeared around the corner. I screamed her name into the night. Weeks later, I overheard Veronica mocking Eleanor on the phone, bragging that she got rid of the mutt problem. I told my mom, but she didn't believe me. She said Veronica was just troubled. A neighbor, Mr. Calvin, who was blind, had seen Veronica driving that night. He mentioned it casually, but nobody listened. That made my stomach twist. Grown-ups knew, and still, they let her in. The twist came when Eleanor packed a bag and left Veronica a note. I watched from the bushes as she walked to Mr. Calvin's place. Later, we found out she'd left the house to him. Veronica screamed when the locks changed. Eleanor had called a lawyer weeks before Chelsea died. It wasn't just grief, it was a plan. Eleanor had finally chosen to escape, and she never looked back. Veronica tried breaking back in. Cops were called. She was arrested for trespassing and animal cruelty after Eleanor showed the vet's report on Chelsea. Mr. Calvin testified. For once, people listened. Eleanor moved in with kind neighbors. I kept Chelsea's collar in my drawer. The silence at night felt different, like safety, not fear. Years later, Eleanor visited my high school graduation. She wore a lavender dress and held my hand like always. Chelsea wouldn't have loved this day, she said. I nodded, touching the little charm made from Chelsea's old tag. Eleanor smiled. We both made it out, didn't we? And in that moment, everything felt whole again.